Hello everybody, my name is Gene Willoughby and it's week 3 and I have the video post of learning the misconceptions of students' ideas and how to address those ideas through student assessment, formative assessment probes. And in the perspectives readings that we had this week, as well as the float and sink reading, our attention is brought of how to address and assess these misconceptions with the example given us with the floating and sinking of how students can have an idea of something that is wrong just by observing on their own and their own ideas. So how do we address these and how do we assess them? Well, as teachers, I think we have to be sensitive to how we address misconceptions, because in the Rena Smith article, she points out that research shows that misconceptions are prevalent and they are strongly held, and they all are also highly persistent to change, especially young minds. So we have to be sensitive to how we go about doing this. And we can find these misconceptions through these formative assessment probes that we were given as a demonstration to us. And we see that probes are just simple questions intended to find out prior knowledge, and then a way of a student to explain how they came about getting that knowledge. So we can use those quick reference to find out where they're at on the idea of what we're covering. So how do we address those? Again, the article gives direction by when we present new concepts, we have to make sure they're in a reasonable and meaningful way. And we know that research has shown that good science instruction includes discussion, class discussion, reflections, and connections. And that'll lead to a more coherent learning on the topic. And with all those readings, I try to figure out what I would want to do as far as giving you guys a question, 2 questions. And I did a little research with the 5th grade science teacher that works in my building, and I asked her what was some of the misconceptions that she generally comes across during a school year. And she said the 5th graders have a really hard time with what they believe is with rotating and revolving in relationship to sun and earth. And she said the reason why is 25% usually is probably her main frame of how many people have a hard time believing that the Earth rotates on its axis and the sun stays where it's at. And with that being said, she said, because the student's misconception comes in where a student can actually see the sun move from one part in the day to the other side of the day, and I can see how a student can come up with that idea. So with that example, I thought it'd be a good idea to challenge you guys to see what 2 or 3 probes could you use if you want to list questions, or if you wanted to have a student draw and then explain what they draw, of how the sun and the earth exist together in relationship to day and night. How do they feel the sun? Does the sun rotate around the earth, or does the earth? However, whatever probes you wanted to use there. And then obviously we're looking at if they came up with a misconception of that idea, how would you address that? How would you go about trying to explain to them that the sun is there? Maybe you would do a diagram or a video, whatever, just your thoughts and ideas of how you would instruct that misconception. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll be looking forward to your response.